The ability to learn is fundamental to our survival and adaptability. From the moment we are born, our brain begins to process information from the world around us. As we grow, our brain continues to learn and adapt to new situations and challenges. In this essay, we will explore in detail how our brain learns new things, what parts of the brain are involved, and how we can use this understanding to improve our learning. The first step in the learning process is perception and attention. Our brain is constantly exposed to a large amount of information from the world around us, from the sounds we hear to the colors we see. The brain must process this information and decide what is relevant and what is not. Sensorial processing is carried out by the sensory areas of the brain, such as the visual and auditory cortex. These areas receive information from the senses and process it so that we can interpret the world around us. The information is sent to other areas of the brain for further processing, depending on its relevance and novelty. Attention is a key process in perception and learning. Our brain must filter relevant information and block irrelevant information. Selective attention is carried out by the prefrontal cortex and other brain areas. These areas control our ability to focus on a specific task and block distractions. Relevant information is then transferred to working memory. Working memory is a part of the brain that temporarily holds information in the mind for immediate use. It is responsible for sustained attention, problem-solving, and decision-making. Working memory is dependent on the activation of the prefrontal cortex and other brain areas. Working memory has a limited capacity, which means that we can only hold a limited number of items in our mind at once. The duration of working memory is also limited, which means that information fades over time if not used. If the information is relevant and processed appropriately, it is then sent to long-term memory, where it is stored and can be retrieved for future use. The consolidation of long-term memory is an active and dynamic process that depends on synaptic plasticity, the formation of new neuronal connections, and the elimination of unnecessary ones. The hippocampus is a key part of the brain that is involved in the consolidation of long-term memory. The hippocampus plays an important role in the formation of new neuronal connections and the elimination of unnecessary synapses. Memory consolidation also depends on brainwave activity during sleep. Multiple brain areas work together to process information and allow us to learn new things. In addition to the sensory and working memory areas mentioned above, there are other parts of the brain that play an important role in learning. The prefrontal cortex, as mentioned earlier, is crucial for selective attention and working memory. It also plays a role in planning, decision-making, and impulse control. The cerebellum is another important part of the brain that is involved in learning. It is often associated with motor control but also plays a role in learning cognitive skills and adapting to new situations. The amygdala is a part of the brain that is involved in emotion and emotional memory. Emotion can influence attention and learning, and the amygdala can facilitate the consolidation of emotional memory. The anterior cingulate cortex is another part of the brain that plays a role in learning. This area has been shown to be involved in monitoring feedback and error-based learning. Now that we have explored how our brain learns new things and what parts of the brain are involved, how can we use this understanding to improve our own learning? One way is through the use of teaching and learning techniques that are based on how our brain works. For example, problem-based learning, in which students work together to solve a complex problem, can be more effective than traditional teaching where students simply memorize information. Another way is by using memory techniques that take advantage of long-term memory consolidation. These techniques include spaced repetition, in which information is reviewed at increasingly longer intervals of time, and association, in which information is associated with something that is already known. We can also improve our learning by ensuring that we have an appropriate learning environment. Proper sleep and nutrition are essential for learning, as sleep helps consolidate memory and nutrition provides the energy required for the brain. In summary, learning is a complex process that involves multiple parts of the brain working together. It begins with perception and attention, moves through working memory and memory consolidation, and relies on multiple brain areas such as the prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, and cerebellum. By understanding how our brain works, we can improve our own learning and use more effective teaching and learning techniques. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you will never miss new videos and you will be helping me create more educational content for everyone. Thanks again for your support and I'll see you in the next video.